The reason why you should subscribe to Seahawks Today is not one, it's not two, it's not three, it's a multitude of different reasons because we have you covered from the latest news around the Seahawks, the latest rumors around the Seahawks, all the analysis that you could want, from trades to free agency to the draft and so much more. You want to get your opinions out to the world? Well, guess what? We want to hear what your opinions are, and we will put them on the channel. We right now are one of the biggest Seahawks YouTube content channels out there, 83,000 subscribers, but we need to keep growing, and I know that we can keep growing. How do we do that? We get more subscribers just like you. You love the Seahawks. You want to know what's going on with your favorite team. Come in, hit that sub button. The bigger of a channel that we get, the more content, the more cool videos that we will be able to do. Now, we're going to get into our video today. This is Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and we got some big injury/sickness news. Drake Maye was not at practice today for the New England Patriots, and I think that this is one of the crazier days in Seahawks/Patriots Super Bowl lead-up because you went from Mike Vrabel and Drake Maye basically saying, everyone don't worry, it's okay, his shoulder's just a little sore, he's going to be fine, to as soon as ESPN's Mike Reese put this tweet out, I thought that the Chat Sports HQ was going to get lit on fire. The amount of fans, the amount of people here, the amount of content creators, everyone was freaking out. Everyone was running. There was a bunch of guys trying to look through practice tape like it was the Zapruder film. Maybe there's Drake Maye on the grassy knoll. We could not get it figured out. But when you look at Drake Maye and you look at the picture from the quarterbacks out at practice, you can notice that the main guy, the man, the myth, the legend, Drake, the schedule Maye, was not out on the field. And he missed practice because a little bit, yes, he's dealing with that shoulder soreness, but head coach Mike Vrabel did say that he was dealing with an illness today. Of course, we're going to get into more on what Vrabel had to say, as well as breaking down some more of the shoulder injury for Maye and how it's very clearly shown up this year in the postseason. But before we do that, check out my shirt. Look at how sweet this thing is. It's fly, it's fresh, it's sexy, it's awesome. We've got the Mob Mentality t-shirts in black and in navy. The link is going to be in the comment section and description of today's video. Only $34.99, letting everybody know that you're on the same mission as your favorite squad. Head honcho in the middle, 4 stars all around them. These things look sweet, and you still got time to get these babies before all of the fun and the festivities. Go and pick yourself up one today. It's a bad look for Drake Maye to miss a practice like this because, just like I said earlier, everyone's hair was on fire here, running around trying to figure out what the issue was and what was going wrong. It's also important to note when you have something like this happen with a quarterback that is going to trend on Twitter. It is going to be big news, and instantly everyone is going to be talking about it. The other bad reason for Drake Maye to miss this practice is because it's one less day for him to get better going into Super Bowl 60. When you look at the Patriots depth chart, Drake Maye, QB1 supposedly, was not able to go out and get the reps that he needed to get. Drake Maye was not able to get looks against the defense that he needs. Drake Maye was not able to get his first real look or second real look at the beginning concepts of the game plan for the Patriots. And neither were the Patriot coaches. So McDaniels now doesn't know if he's actually crafting the perfect game plan for the Patriots to do what needs to get done. Josh Dobbs, Tommy Cutlets, I don't know that I really trust those two to go out and win a Super Bowl for the New England Patriots. So when I keep seeing Drake Maye pop up on injury report after injury report after injury report, and then instead of being able to go out and practice, he was at the facility today, but he wasn't able to go out and practice, I think that that is a bigger deal than people realize. Maye, I believe, would do everything and anything to be out on that field trying to get himself ready to perform and to play. So the fact that an illness kept him out, you cannot tell me that it's not a big deal. What is your one-word reaction to the Drake Maye news? He missed practice today. For those of you living under a rock, maybe you tried to skip forward to get to this point. Drake Maye not at practice today. What was your initial reaction? Mine? Interesting. It's very, very interesting. WEEI had this to say on Mike Vrabel. He was out after practice making himself available to the media, and he said that basically Drake Maye missed Friday's practice because of an illness and his shoulder injury. Now, Tom Carroll, another guy who ends up covering the New England Patriots, had this to say, a little bit more of a breakdown of how Vrabel answered the questions. For those looking for a glass half full read on Drake Maye's absence on Friday, basically the question was, if it wasn't for the illness, would Drake Maye be out there? And Vrabel said, yes, if not for the illness, he would be out there. I already alluded to this earlier, though. How bad is that illness? Tell you right now, I've gone to work a lot of times with a cold. I know producer Searle's gone to work a lot of times with the cold, with the sniffles. Shoot, producer Searle gives so much of a you-know-what about his job. I have personally seen producer Searle come into work when I was like, whoa, dude, you clearly need to go see a doctor. That's how much we care about our jobs, and we know that Drake Maye feels that same way. So if Drake Maye isn't able to go out and practice, how sick is he? It's something that we are asking a question here. Now, it could just be, hey, man, he's got the cold, got the flu. The coaches, the training staff said, we're going to shut you down today. But if you're letting the training staff shut you down, it's probably not a very good look for your team. We're trying to catch our Knicks Now channel. Look at that. We are within 1,000 subscribers. Not even a week ago were we here on Seahawks Today down by 2,000 subscribers to our Knicks Now channel. Help us out. Come on in. Hit that sub button. We are going to catch Knicks Now as fast as we possibly can. We're within 1,000. Don't let the basketball teams beat the football teams. Everybody knows football is a much better sport. Next, we're going to get into more of the Patriots injury news because it isn't all just about Drake Maye. As much as people, the haters, the losers, of which there are many in my comment section, they do like to think all I talk about is Drake Maye. Maybe they think I have a crush on him. I don't. Maybe a little bit. But we are going to talk more about what's going on with the injury news around some other key players for the Patriots. But before we do that, I need to let you know about these sweet vacation trips that I have planned and how, look, I had to go and find a budget. I had to create a game plan so that I could have the most fun on that vacation that I'm going to take in the summer. Thank goodness I found Rocket Money to help me create that budget. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money helped me track my subscriptions. We actually found out that I was double paying for a couple of streaming services. Rocket Money helped me cancel those subscriptions and actually save some money. Now, that money we have put aside for the budget for that vacation, and I've started using Rocket Money as well to help me create spending goals for each month. So little by little, each month, I'm saving more and more money, and I'm able to take that money and put it into my budget for that vacation. So that way, I'm able to do all of the fun things that I want to do when I go on this sweet vacation. Thank you so much to Rocket Money. Let Rocket Money help you reach your financial goals faster. Join at rocketmoney.com/SeahawksChat. That's rocketmoney.com/SeahawksChat. rocketmoney.com/SeahawksChat. Shout out to Rocket Money. Taylor, Kyles had this to say about some of the other Patriots who were not at practice today. Hunter Henry did return, which is something interesting to note, but Harold Landry, Robert Spillane, and Thayer Munford were all unable to go in practice. Now, I don't think I'm entirely shocked with Spillane and with Landry not being able to go, simply because, well, they haven't really gone all week. What will that end up meaning for this Patriots team? I think it could end up meaning a whole lot. First, let's start with Harold Landry. He's been dealing with a knee injury for basically the back half of this season. You've seen it really kind of cut into some of the stats that he had early on in the year, and you're also seeing it cut into the amount of snaps that he's had throughout this season, which I find utterly fascinating. When you look at his stat line so far for this year in the regular season, you would say, wow, that's someone who is an absolute stud. That is a guy in Harold Landry that the Seahawks need to be worried out about. But the more and more that I look at his stats, the more and more that I realize that most of those stats are from early on in the season. So when you look at how Landry has been handling that knee injury, it has not been quite as good as maybe most would like. I think it's also important to mention that Harold Landry clearly has a significant knee injury that he is fighting through and dealing with, which is a gritty, tough warrior, but it is something to note for the Seahawks. When we look at that next big injury, of course, that the Patriots are dealing with, it's Robert Spillane, and he's dealing with an ankle injury again. Those of you who have been kind of scouting potential opponents for the Seahawks to play in the Super Bowl will know that Robert Spillane ended up injuring his ankle at the back half of the regular season. Now, when we look at the playoff stats for Spillane playing in all 3 games, it is important to note that while his tackle numbers might be a little bit lower than you may expect for how well Spillane had been playing this entire season, it is important to know that he really only played in half of that Broncos game dealing with that ankle injury. Now, he was out on the field hanging out with the boys, having a good time after the game, and I do believe that Spillane will be able to give it the old college try and go out and play during the Super Bowl. Don't be shocked if you don't see him on a full participation list for practice this entire week, because the Patriots know they just need him as close to 100% as he possibly can be for game day. Last guy that we got to talk about, of course, is Thayer Munford. He's dealing with a knee injury. What I do find interesting about this injury for Munford is, well, frankly, he's just been really beat up this year. Type of player that, look, they'd like to get a little bit more depth on that offensive line for the Patriots because, well, that line has struggled. The line has struggled. So that is something interesting and something to definitely keep an eye on. Get in the comment section right now and let us know, are the Patriots in big trouble? Yes or no? I'm fascinated to get your own opinion on because, well, I think that the Patriots might be in some big trouble. I've just been alerted by producer Searle, and hopefully that wasn't super obvious, but there is breaking news right now with the Seattle Seahawks as we are recording. So this is coming to us from Seth Wickersham, letting us know also from Brady Henderson, a guy who does a great job with ESPN. The Seattle Seahawks are going to go up for sale after the Super Bowl. They could set a record for team price. Looks like a rival team exec thinks that the team will be worth $7 to $8 billion. Now, this is fascinating, and I do want to make sure that you are listening to me as I go through this because I think most Seahawk fans, when they hear the Seahawks are up for sale, it is an instant fear because Seattle almost moved. This was a Seahawks team that had to be saved by Paul Allen. Seahawks were going to relocate at one point. And if Paul Allen doesn't step up and buy the team and buy the franchise, well, there would be no Seattle Seahawks. What is important to note about Paul Allen and his will, when Allen died, he obviously gave his estate to his sister, Jody Allen, and Burt Cold. And they had to go through a process of kind of untangling and doing what people do at the end of wills. I don't want to dive too much into it because, well, frankly, that's just not this type of video and that's not my type of content. You would need someone who's a little bit more caught up in that type of lawyer speak. What is important to note and what has always been known is that in the will, Allen specifically said to his sister and to Burt Cold that at some point, the franchises that were owned by Paul Allen had to be sold. So the Seattle Seahawks and the Portland Trail Blazers were going to have to be sold at some point. And the Portland Trail Blazers, if you are a fan of that NBA franchise, just sold to a new ownership group from Allen. There was never a timetable on it. So Jody could wait until she would get the most return on this investment. It is clear that that is what Allen is doing now, and I frankly think it's very smart of her. Sell the team when you can get the most amount of money in return. There's no reason to rush through a sales process, and we do have to trust that Jody Allen will make sure that whoever comes in and becomes the majority owner of the Seahawks, whatever group it is or individual person, they are going to be someone that keeps the team in Seattle. I would pump the brakes on any kind of relocation freakout and understand that this was always the plan. It was just a matter of time before Jody Allen had to sell this team. So I'm not worried yet, but definitely there is going to be a lot more content around the sale of this Seahawks franchise because, well, it's what Jody Allen was always going to have to do. So if you heard the breaking news and you freaked out, hopefully I was able to calm you down a little bit there. Hit that sub button. This is why you do it. The minute that there is breaking news, we get it out to you, even if we are in the middle of filming a video. Great job by producer Searle. That news broke in the middle of us filming this. He went in, created the new graphic, and got it out for you. We're trying to catch our Knicks Now channel. I think that we can. Hit that sub button. You're going to get great content here on the Seattle Seahawks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.